Okay. What is going on, LBHT crew B? What is going on?
I don't know. You tried to put yourself on the wrong side of the screen, but we ain't going
I didn't
for
do
that. Whatever.
I didn't do that.
All right.
Listen. You know, I know the stream said 7:30 was the start time, but this was a test. I want to see how many of y'all are paying attention. And some of y'all, look, thank you for coming early and being patient. But y'all know what time the show starts, man. Bazel said we late again. Y'all like Hendo? You know what time this show starts? 7:45.
This is rude, Bazel. You ain't gotta say
that. I said it for 7:30 by accident. It was late. I was tired. You know when you know you're messing up, but you can't focus enough on what it is, and I'm like,
because you don't feel like you're messing up, because you're like, hey, you know what? Let me lock in for this 10 seconds, and then you're like, I got it for this 10 seconds, but you don't got it. You never got it.
You don't got it.
A lie.
Listen, y'all. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching us, make sure you hit that like button, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're listening to the audio form of this, we put this out on Thursday at lunchtime. So we hope you're enjoying your lunch break. Make sure you leave us a 5-star review. All right. Who is here? We got Carmelo Moody in the house. What's going on, Carmelo? Appreciate you. We got Noah here. It says, Buenos tardes, amigos. Buenos noches. Buenos noches. It's nighttime for us. Well, it could be afternoon somewhere. All right. Pay the bills. Says we in here. Salute, pay the bills. We got TC in the house. That salute Brodny and Jose, the best duo on YouTube. Appreciate that. Thank you. What else we got in here? We got Mohammed. Salute to you. One of our newest Patreon members too.
What's up, Mohammed?
Salute. Devin Janelle. She's in Japan. B, did you know that?
What? I did not know that.
Yep.
What's up, Devin?
Yes. B went to Japan. Was it last year?
A couple years ago.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago.
It was very nice. Really enjoyed it.
Yep. Dance fan. Good evening. Salute to you. Delia, the super producer, is here. It says, hey, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click that notification bell. Yes. Super chat or Cash App, $ LBHTShow. That's our preferred method. You'll get our microphone man dance, do a little dance for you if you donate through the Cash App. Those are ways I guarantee your questions and comments are read on the show. We'll be we're starting soon. She put that in there just to make sure you guys understood what time we're supposed to start. But that's okay. Noah was anxious. How soon, Adelia? How soon? 7:45. Our regular time. Matt D in the house. What's going on, Matt? Says, remember when the Wu-Tang came to my town? We were excited to finally get to see them, but the show started 3 hours late. Half the Wu wasn't there, and the ones that showed up wasn't really there. That's not what's happening here. Okay.
Wow.
Hey, that's us for you, because I went to a Wu-Tang concert. Was it 2 years ago now? Me and the OTR crew, they were all there. Except for Old Dirty, obviously, but Old Dirty's son was there rapping his verses. Nice. And he looks and sounds just like Old Dirty. Like, I had to do a double take. You know what I'm saying? I had to do a double take. He looked and sounded just like his dad. But the whole crew was there, even Method Man, who wasn't supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? They had already announced that he had there's a conflict of schedule. He wasn't going to be there. And he popped out there, and everybody went crazy. It was a great time. So I
don't know why you had to rub that in Matt's face.
Yeah. What I'm saying, Matt, it sucks to be you. I thoroughly enjoyed the Wu-Tang experience. Killer Cam, what's going on? It says Hola Jose and mucho gusto Brodny.
Nice to meet you, Cam.
Yes, Money Mike. It is draft month. Yes. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah. It's going to be a great draft for Carolina.
I kind of want to do a poll. All right, during the Back History I'll put up a poll if I remember. Listen, I want to know how many of y'all that are old enough to remember the old draft before it started coming on prime time on Thursdays when it was just a weekend thing, right? It was just Saturday and Sunday. How many of y'all prefer that draft over this draft? Like, which one do you like better? The new version of the draft or the old version of the draft? I love the Sunday model.
Yeah, I it's nice to have the spectacle. And I think it's great for the players to be, have that kind of red carpet experience and be on, prime time and everybody watching and all that. It sucks if you ain't there. Like after the first couple picks, when the excitement wears off, then it's just 15 minutes till the next one. 15 and sometimes not even 15, sometimes it's like 20 because they just get backed up for no reason whatsoever. Around 10 picks in, they just get backed up, and then you're chasing all night. And you're refreshing Twitter every 3 seconds trying to see the next pick. It's a bad experience.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's some benefits to this one, right? Obviously, for us, there's able to stretch out our content a little bit more. You can react to the first round, and even just people in general. Like you get that first round, you get time to digest it. You can talk to your friends about it at work and whatnot, and then come back the next night and watch it again, and then the third day. But I just like Saturday or Sunday. I used to like that, just being able to sit there all day and just watch the draft. And I used to watch every round back then. But yeah, I'm curious to know which model you guys prefer, if you remember the old draft. When did they start doing this way?
It's been a while now.
It's been a while. Some of y'all might never remember the old way of doing it, but if you do, let us know. I know Just Allo remembers. What's going on, Just Allo?
So not everybody knows. Not everybody knows that Just Allo old, but you got to remind them every show.
What's going on, Myron? Just Allo is the one that told us about round Pop-Tarts. Okay, we thought he was trolling us. We didn't think it was real. Turns out Pop-Tarts used to be round once upon a time. Okay, it's true. Speaking of old, we got Hendo in the house. What's going on? Hendo from the Rogue Pod. What's going on?
Don't put his comments up.
What?
He's supposed to be here.
Oh, I ain't know. Hendo, well,
he told me earlier he gonna be on the show and everything. And now you just in the chat now. Take that down.
Well, good news is you got time to hop on, man. You got time?
Ridiculous.
You got time? All right. Maybe he changed his mind. I don't know. Michael Williams in the house. What's going on? Says, what up, team Baltimore? What's going on with you, man? Appreciate you coming through. Osmond, salute. Says Jose, Brodny, and all the chat. Hello.
What's up, Osmond?
Hello. Who else we got in here? All right, let's do a quick run here. Neuropsych Sports. He was in here with us this morning, along with Carmelo Moody and others. Really appreciate you guys tuning in to us. Really appreciate that. We got our brother Suge Knight 1323 over on Twitch. Suge Knight 323 over on YouTube. Make sure you go check him out. He's also on Adelia's network along with Ferris. Good friends, better rivals. All right, so check them out over there. We got Chaos in the house. Salute. Our guy. Coach says he says new draft. Okay, you like the new one. Okay. He says one day was too much. It was 2 days. It was 2 days. All right, it was Saturday or Sunday. Because I think they did
it was 1, 2, 3, then 4 through the
4,
7.
5. Yeah, 4 through 7 on Sunday. Yeah. I like that one better. But okay. I'm just curious what people think about that. I can see the benefit for both versions. Appreciate you coming through, Coach. And if you guys didn't check it out, he went live earlier with Nitro on his other channel, More Sip to Tally. You got Sip to Tally and More Sip to Tally. Make sure you subscribe to both of them. All right. Reese's in the house. What's going on, Reese?
we got a cash app from Noah. He says, GM trade, Brodny, I'll give you Tet. Wow. Okay, well, we got to talk about that, Noah. But thank you very much for the cash app. Appreciate it.
Hey, is that for a fantasy football league?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. You know what? If you want to make deals during the show, that's how you do it, I guess. And because you made that donation through Cash App, you get one of these. I appreciate that, Noah. I remember when we first started that Dynasty League. People used to go crazy about that. The chat, they would go crazy in the chat over our fantasy football league during the show.
Yeah. Got a wheel and deal.
Our guy E's in the house. What's up, E? Says that was old. I think he meant old school. My cousin-in-law didn't even go to the draft when he went to the Bills. Yeah. Yep. Same thing with our friend Denarian. I don't think Denarian went to the. Well, I mean, he was drafted late. I think like sixth round. What I can't remember what round D-Mac was drafted in, but yeah, it was old school. It was. King's in the house. What's up, King?
What up, King?
All right, who else we got in here? Attitude Pop, I hear you. Do y'all watch Invincible?
Yes.
I have not seen it yet. I'm waiting for all the seasons to come out so I can binge watch it. But B assures me that it is an amazing show. I believe him. So I'm gonna check it out. Who else? Mr. Black Ice is here. Salute to you, Mr. Black Ice. And I think we got everybody. Okay. All right. We have a few things to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
I teased earlier what's going on the overtime show. All right. I will put that. All I'm going to do is put the thumbnail for the overtime show. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to put that there. And then, you do with that as you will. Okay. So that's what we're discussing. That's what we're discussing after this show. You got Xavier McKinney on the left side. Okay. There's a story involving him. NFL scam, one of two NFL scams going on. He wasn't the scammer, but he was a victim in this, right? Tiger Woods, y'all heard what's going on with Tiger Woods and his DUI. And then in the back, yes, that is not Photoshop. That is a coach, right? With his part of his belly showing, squaring up with another ref standing.
One courageous referee.
Yeah. He's ready. He's ready to throw down with him. And the other ref is sleeping. He is sleeping on the ground. Okay.
Could be unrelated. We don't know.
You're right.
Gotta watch the overtime show to find out.
Yes. So that'll be on the overtime show, which you can find on our Patreon. Patreon.com/LBHTShow is how you do that. The pin link is in the chat box. It's only $5 for the whole month. And you get to be a part of the overtime show that way. Also for our channel members, you will get access to that show as well. Okay. Yeah. Send the coach to jail. Yeah. We'll discuss it. But lots of Ravens stuff, some Panthers stuff. Panthers been quiet, but we're going to talk some Panthers and some other moves as well. And look, okay, now the show can start because Tracy is here, B. Tracy is here. It says, good evening, Jose, B, and Ravens flock. Good to see you, Tracy.
What's up, Tracy?
But yes, we'll get the show started. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact. And B and Nicole have a Black History fact for you.
This week on the LBHT Black History Fact, Victor Jerome Glover Jr. has carved out a remarkable path as both a naval aviator and a trailblazing astronaut. Born in Pomona, California in 1976, he grew up with a strong mix of athletic drive and academic focus, before earning an engineering degree from Cal Poly, and later completing 3 advanced graduate programs in engineering and military strategy. After receiving his Navy wings in 2001, he went on to fly multiple variants of the F/A-18, logging thousands of hours in more than 40 aircraft, completing over 400 carrier landings, and flying combat missions in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. His career also included overseas deployments and a legislative fellowship that broadened his leadership experience. Selected by NASA in 2013, Glover trained extensively before making history in 2020 as the pilot of SpaceX's Crew 1 mission, the first operational crew Dragon flight to the International Space Station. During his 168 days in orbit, he conducted research, supported station operations, and performed 4 spacewalks, becoming the first black astronaut to live on the ISS for a long-duration mission. He is now set to pilot Artemis II, the first crewed lunar mission in more than half a century, positioning him to become the first person of color to travel beyond low Earth orbit and marking another milestone in his already distinguished career.
All right, salute to the Black History Fact. I am finishing up this poll right now. You can vote on it in 1 second. So the new draft is Thursday through Sunday now, or Saturday? Is that what it is?
Thursday, Saturday.
All right, Thursday through Saturday, and yeah, let me know what y'all think. Okay, boom, it's there. The poll started, so y'all can vote on that. Which one do you prefer? The original version, which was Saturday and Sunday. The new version, Thursday through Saturday. Tay got it's in the house. What's going on, Tay? Appreciate you coming through. Urban, salute. Okay. Where we want to start, B? We got a few things to discuss here. We got a few things. All right. Okay. Let's do some quick notes here. Right. First, we'll bring up the Brazil game. You can bring that one up, Adelia. The Ravens will be playing. See, it's doing it. That's StreamYard. That's StreamYard, Adelia. That does it to me all the time. The Ravens will travel to Brazil in week 3 to take on the Cowboys in the first ever NFL game in Rio de Janeiro. All right. So we know we don't have the schedule out yet, but we know where one game's going to be already in week 3. All right. So the Cowboys and the Ravens will be playing in Rio de Janeiro. What do you think about this?
I'm for trying to grow the game internationally. I think it's great that they're going outside of Europe as well. For those, maybe some of us in the chat as well who can make the trip, I think it's going to be great. But yeah, I like the NFL kind of broadening its horizons and trying to win over fans in other countries. Okay. And I think they're going to put a beating on Dallas. So,
I thought I created this poll. I don't think it posted. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll try it again in a minute. If you guys don't see it, I'll give me a second. I don't know what that was, why I didn't show it. Yeah, that's cool. I'm cool with it. I don't care. Dancing to Brazil. Oh, how many of you guys are gonna try to make it to that game? I don't care if it's at home, if it's in Brazil, if it's in Mexico. Dallas catching a beat down.
Yeah.
Where you at, Warbone? Dallas is catching a beat down. All right. Like you saw the picture that was posted below that post. Okay. You saw what Derrick Henry did to you last time. All right. He can do that. He can do that in Brazil as well. Another thing I want to mention real quick. I didn't put the graphic up there, but longtime Ravens announcer Jerry Sandusky, aka the good Jerry Sandusky,
the other one,
retired. Yeah, he has retired. Amazing career. I used to love listening to him on the radio along with Rod Woodson. Called the games. Sucks that he's leaving. I don't think anybody can do a better job than him. There's always somebody out there that's good, but I think they'll have a very hard time replacing him.
Yeah. Great career with a really, really unexpected bump in name recognition towards the end. But, he handled it about as well as you possibly could. And, congratulations on a great career. And, hope he enjoys retirement.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, okay. Earlier today, me and Hendo were discussing, this doesn't go out there. I'm trying to get this thing out. I don't know why I won't post. I'll figure it out. Earlier we were discussing some of the things that were discussed at the owners meeting by the Ravens, right? And they were asked about the O-line, and they did the coach speak, but essentially they said we recognize we got some more work to do. right? And me just doing some digging, looked into who they could possibly be looking to add after the June 1st cuts. And one of the names that popped up was that dude Glasgow from the Lions,
Mm-hmm.
because he played center last year for the Lions. Now, initially you think, oh, Glasgow, cool, right? I know he could play. He can play guard.
Yeah.
But at center, he wasn't so good. I had a let me see if I had a screenshot still. He had it earlier. What's his name? Well, I'll pull it up. But he didn't do that well, and they think he could be a candidate for getting cut. This is it right here. Graham Glasgow, the interior of the Lions' offensive line was a weak spot in 2025, and tweaks could be coming. The veteran center, Graham Glasgow, especially underwhelmed this season. His 56.8 PFF grade was his lowest since his rookie season. If the retool is coming, expect Glasgow to be sacrificed. Now, you gotta take with a grain of salt PFF grades for offensive linemen, right? But you don't want to be on the low end, even on their grades.
Yeah, you take it with a grain of salt, but like they're not out here saying the top lineman scored a 40 or anything. You know, like it's if your grade's that low, there's a reason that your grade's that low.
Yeah, and also he'll be 34 starting 2026 NFL season. So he's an older guy. Didn't have a great shift to center.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I feel like that's somebody that they're looking to target. You know, what do you think if they look to pick somebody like him up?
I would think. I hope that's not your whole plan. You know, their plan at offensive line has been underwhelming. I don't know what exactly. I don't know if it's just they think Lamar can mitigate pass rush with his legs, or if they just legitimately don't think the offensive line is that important. Actually, you know, I know it's not that, because John Harbaugh, you know, who was a part of this as well and has moved on to the Giants, said that they need to build one of the best O-lines in the league, you know, for that quarterback over there. Yep. You didn't feel that way about this quarterback over here, though. And so far, all you've done is add John Simpson, who you know is bad, add a couple of guys with not much experience playing at all. And I mean, like I said, I hope that you have something else in the works.
Yeah. You know, there's no matter what they do at this point, it's not going to be a better option than bringing back Tyler Linderbaum. And this is why we said you had to sign him.
Yeah,
I know people get hung up on the $27 million, right? And like can't pay that. Well, no, I get that part of it, but it shouldn't have come to that. Right. It shouldn't have come to that. You should have paid him well before he got to free agency. And once you're there, you have to bite the bullet and sign the man, right? I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but you got to do it. And that way, that's a position that you don't have to worry about, because now we're scrambling and now we're going to have to, you know, try to figure out if this person can maybe play this, or maybe we draft a tackle and we can convert him to center. And like all these options are just bad. That's bad planning. Yeah. Like we could get lucky. We could get somebody, Corey Bullock might end up being pretty good, pretty solid. But that's not how you plan. That's not how you plan for a good offensive line. Like we could say the same thing for the defense, right? If we said, look, man, don't worry about edge rusher, right? Like Adisa Isaac is going to be healthy this year and he's going to work out. That's essentially what you're saying about the O-line, right? Mm-hmm. You're saying Emory Jones is going to be healthy this year and he's going to work out. You know, Corey Bullock is going to work out. Carson Vincent is going to work out. Like that's how we approach the O-line. If we did that for the defense, y'all would say, no way.
Yeah.
Speaking of defense, Hendo mentioned earlier. I didn't see Hendo, like if you want to reveal your sources, I won't put you on the spot. But you mentioned earlier that there's a rumor that the Ravens could be still in the mix for Max Crosby for a lesser deal. I think he said 2 second-round picks. Did you hear anything about that?
I talked about that with him. I don't really buy into it. Listen, if you are that concerned about his knee, you should be out, right?
Yes.
But realize I don't see it happening. I don't think that they're going to pay 2 edge rushers that much money and giving up the draft picks. And honestly, it would be again just a slap in the face to Lamar Jackson in the offense to add Trey Hendrickson and Max Crosby while degrading the line even further. And letting some of the weapons on offense walk as well.
It would. Oh, Russell Street Report. Well, listen, I don't trust them on anything outside of cap stuff, right? We got a super chat. Thank you, Master B. Appreciate the super chat. Says Jalen having annual hit piece. Good guy yet hated. Which Jalen? Jalen Hurts.
Well, first off, thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Second of all, you don't know he's a good guy. Okay.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. You don't know he's a good guy. Just like we didn't know that Deshaun Watson was a good guy, right? True. Like we know how he appears in public, and he does appear to be a good guy, but we don't know that. We do know that he's a fraud on the football field.
He's not fun,
and that's why the story's coming out, or why people are talking about him now. Absolute fraud. He got picked 6 by the flag football guys. Okay, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Listen, careers are almost lost that day. All right, Joe Burrow out there trying to juke and it fell over on his face.
Nobody wants to play for the Cincinnati Bengals less than Joe Burrow without saying, I don't want to play for the Cincinnati Bengals. He was trying to tear that ACL. But listen, Jalen Hurts, what he's referring to is like people talking about essentially that. Well, the thing I saw, maybe he saw something different, but saying that he is a big part of the reason why the Eagles offense has kind of taken a downturn, in that he is essentially not doing the things that the coaches want him to do, that the previous coordinators were able to get him to do, right? And it was kind of framed as, maybe these are just, they were better coaches, but I think more it's like, hey, I'm the Super Bowl winner. I'm going to do what I want, kind of thing. It's kind of what they're getting at, and the offense has become more predictable and less explosive and all that. I mean, look, maybe, but you won your Super Bowl with them. You got to roll with it at this point, right?
You went to 2 Super Bowls with them. That's the thing. You went to 2 Super Bowls and you won one.
Yeah,
you won it handedly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to deal with the attitude a little bit. This isn't a Carson Wentz situation where, can't win with him, can't do it, right? Like it's not one of those situations where he doesn't take any accountability and you're not winning. Like you're winning.
No, and listen, if it's true that like the new coordinators just are not able to get them to do the things that they wanted to do, then hire new coordinators.
Yeah,
which to be fair, that they are trying, but you got to hit on the coordinators that you hire. So
yeah, DDSQ, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through. Now, this is a good question. Hurts is the John Harbaugh of the Eagles players. No, he's not. John Harbaugh ain't been to 1 Super Bowl, and that was over a decade ago. All right, Hurts just got them.
And he just said, and then Harbaugh said, "I'm doing it my way," which is what Jalen Hurts is allegedly doing now.
Yeah. So Muhammad has a good question here. What happened to Mike Green? This is my thing. This is what always comes back to for me when we're talking about edge rushers. What happened to Mike Green? What happened to Adisa Isaac? What happened to these guys that we felt so good about? And now all of a sudden we had the upgrade. Mike Green was a rookie last year. Now, to be fair to some of y'all are still on the Mike Green train. Like me, I feel like he can, look, he just didn't get the right coaching. It was a bad situation last year, and we could have somebody special in Mike Green, right? So that's another reason why I didn't like the Max Crosby trade to begin with, because a player like him, and then you bring in another veteran, and your pass rush situation is fixed. You didn't have to go all out and pay for Trey Henderson and or Max Crosby. For players like that, you drafted Malachi Starks in the first round. Like you have talent on that side of the ball. Just because they didn't play like it, I think we all agree that coaching had a lot to do with that, right?
Mhm.
Now, that's the side of the ball where I feel like this year at the very least, don't put a lot of resources in it to see what you have there, because you spent a lot of money and a lot of high draft picks on that side.
Yeah.
That your new coaching staff, that with a defensive head coach who is really good, and then you got a defensive coordinator who is really good. Let them work with what we have and see, was it just a bad situation last year, or some of these guys aren't that good? You can work all that out. The offensive side is where you got to put your resources this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I don't know. It's still early, and that's pretty much what Jesse Minter said the other day. It's only March. They're still making moves. The draft is coming up. Realistically, what do you guys see happening for the offense, or as a team? Maybe you think they're not going to make any more major moves on offense. They're still going to try to lock it down on defense. What do you guys see this team doing coming up for the draft? What do you see, B?
I think they're going to take an offensive lineman at 14. I think it's probably going to be Vega, maybe Spencer Fano. In that second round, I would kind of expect them to go defense. But I think that first pick will be dedicated to protecting Lamar. I don't think that they're going to kind of, try to get any of the top defenders there, not a Reuben Bain or Caleb Downs or anything like that. I think that this is the one time where you'll see them kind of lock in and say, all right, we have to do something about this O-line, because they didn't retain their own player. They didn't really make any moves in free agency. So this has to be the moment where they're going to say, yeah, protecting the quarterback matters to us. And then the second round, I think it's going to be kind of, at that point, it's just going to depend on who is available at their pick.
I see a scenario where they come out this draft and I feel better about the O-line, right? If they do go guard in the first round, which I'm not sure they will, but if they did do something like that, if they went and got Vega in the first round and then second or third round, they got a center, right? I will look at it then and say, okay, right, they lost out on Tyler Linderbaum. They didn't want to pay the money for Tyler Linderbaum. But they got a young center, even though they're a rookie. You got a starter in Vega, drafted in the first round. Now, we're paying John Simpson first round money. But if he's not playing well and they like Emory Jones and Emory Jones is good, it could be a scenario where they're starting Simpson until Emory Jones gets up to speed, and then you got Vega and Jones as your guards, and then that rookie center hopefully works out. And overall, we have a better offensive line than we did last year, right? I can feel more optimistic about that if we go guard and center early in the draft. So hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm not super optimistic about it, regardless, because I don't think. I think it's a tough ask just to have a rookie guard come in and then a rookie center who is going to be a later pick, not even a top center or a top prospect, come in and play well, especially next to John Simpson. Even if they turn out to be good players, I don't think that you'll see a consistently good O-line next year.
I think it will be a struggle early on, and then mid-season you'll see them start to gel together, and play a lot better than what we had in the that we had all year last year, right? It would be tough early on, you know. But I think if you draft the talent, you get the right players. By the end of the season, we'll be in good shape, right? If we could survive the early onslaught there.
Coach says wide receiver first, guard second, center third. I mean, damn. Like, you know, obviously they need help at wide receiver as well, but waiting till day 2 to try to fix the O line, pretty dicey.
Yeah, you know, and I hear what he's saying, right? Like, you know, if we get a chance to get Carnell Tate, you know, are you mad at that? No. Listen, if we get a chance to get Ruben Bain, I'm not mad at that either. I'm just going to be like, if we don't go guard, I'm just going to ask the same question: where's the O line? Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like me and B like in Hendo, like we're not negative when we say these things, right? When we say, oh, trade for Max Crosby, cool. What are you gonna do about the O line? Hey, got Trey Henderson, cool. What you gonna do about the O line? You know, if we go wide receiver, which we need that too, right? I'm gonna say, cool. What are you gonna do about the O line? Mm-hmm. There has to be the investment there at some point. And sometimes you might have to bite the bullet on a more talented looking player, right? And get the not so sexy pick up those guys that are going to protect Lamar.
Yeah.
Right. So let's read a couple of comments here. Noah says EDC is going to do what he always does, which is sit on his hands and do nothing. I don't think so. I'm not saying this is not an endorsement of EDC. I'm not saying he's going to do a great job. I'm not saying he's going to do a terrible job. I'm saying this man is his job's on the line this year. So he's not going to sit around and do nothing. He's going to do what he thinks is best, and we'll see if it works out for him. Connor Lew has an ACL injury. Well, take him off the board. We can't. I want to get some guys that we can stash for later, and hopefully they come around and play well. Speaking of, you know, Voorhees is still on the roster. I don't feel comfortable about that. Right. Danity, what's going on? Danity says, welcome to all 125 in the chat. Yes, 125 in the chat. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Only 50 likes. Can we get to 75? Yes, I think we can. Super chat is available and Cash App, $LBHTShow. Hashtag road to 4K and patreon.com/LBHTShow. Thank you, Danity. Appreciate that. Yes, we are trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. We are halfway there. I think we have 34. We're about 3,400. Yeah. We're making progress there. I like that. Drift Sports says center in the second round would be tough. We can get a center in the third or after, but not after fifth round. Quality talent would be passed up in round 2. That makes the rest of the draft irrelevant, in my opinion. See, man, I hear what you're saying. That's how we Ravens get into trouble with that train of thought. Oh, we can get that player later. And then later comes and the player's gone and we get somebody worse. Get what you need early on. Can we get a all-pro caliber center in the second round? Yes, then you get him in the second round. Hell, get him in the first round. If he's an all-pro caliber player, I don't care where he's projected to go. You get him, right? Because if he's an all-pro in the end, that justifies picking him up. Mm-hmm. You know? Or just get really good. If you get somebody that's really good, it doesn't matter what round you get them in, as long as you get them. Now, if you're able to get them later, that's fine. But, you know, you're risking it. The further down the draft you go, it's a greater risk, you know? I'm sure there'll be some centers in the third round. Will we, the Ravens, have the ability to identify that player and pick him up? That's the concern.
Yeah, and the value conversation, you know, in terms of where a player was projected and where you got him. That's a conversation in the offseason. That's a conversation that is made specifically for the draft cottage industry that's popped up in these months on Twitter and YouTube and, you know, even on ESPN and Fox, where you have to have something to talk about with the NFL because it's a year-round thing. It means nothing come September.
Yeah. Coach said if Vega is gone at 14 and we get Rutledge at 14, I'd be so sick. Rutledge does he play? Is he a guard or a center?
I believe he played guard, but I'm not sure if he's ever played.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of these guys move around, you know.
Yeah, at that point, there's still some other linemen that'd be better, like the the Miami guy, tackle.
He'll probably be gone, but
he'll be gone before 14.
Probably. I mean, that's the way it's looking right now. Spencer Fano may be there.
Is there any other guy not named Vega? I think. Well, the Miami guy, he's not a guard; he's a tackle. But they're saying he's projected to play guard in the NFL. You wouldn't be cool with the Miami guy? I want to mess up his name. Mao Noah. Yeah. Rutledge is nasty too. Yeah. Hey, listen. Build that O line. I don't care how it gets done. Just build the O line.
But my thing is, again, and not to pick on coach or anything, but this is exactly why your O line looks the way it does, right? Because you get to a point you say, oh, man, Tyler Linderbaum, but I don't like the number. Okay, so Tyler's gone. And obviously you didn't like the number on any of the starting quality players who were in free agency. So you end up with John Simpson. Then you go to the draft and you're like, oh, the value doesn't match where we're picking. And you take another position and you end up with a worse player later. At some point, you have to get what you need. It doesn't matter what the value is. It's just you have to get the player that you need or the position that you need.
Ernest Berman, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Now, this is a coach question right here. Why not Pregnon over Vega at guard? I hear Pregnon is pretty good. That's an Oregon guard.
Yeah, but we're just discussing where people are kind of projected to go right now, and Vega is projected to go much, much higher than Pregnon.
Gotcha. Is he the number one or he's like one of the top rated guards, right?
Vega. He is the top guard. The other guy, Pregnon, he's anywhere from late first to early to mid second. But that's why we're just talking about Vega, because the other guy's not projected to go in that range where they're picking.
I'm against trading back for EDC at this point, but if they traded back a little further down in the first round and drafted somebody like Pregnon, I guess what I want to see EDC do is find a way to consolidate these draft picks between the first and fourth rounds as much as he can, right? Use these draft picks to if you want to move back a little bit in the first round and then get out of the seventh round as much as you can, just give away those picks, move some of those fifth round picks to fourth round picks, get one to convert a third to a extra second or something like that. If you can consolidate in between the first and fourth rounds, I like that. But anything after fourth round is a throwaway for me. Isn't Pregnon older? I think he is, but that's fine. That's fine. If he's 25 and we get 8 good years out of him, that's worth it.
Right.
If you get a wide receiver first, I don't know. WTF Puka got going on. What Puka do now?
Puka's in rehab. He said he's been there for a while and he's going to be staying there for a while longer. Good for him to be getting the help. But it's not a great look, especially with the pending civil case against him. Coach says respectfully disagree. You disagree with needing to get players to protect Lamar Jackson, Coach? That's what you're saying? What are you disagreeing with?
So look, Coach isn't wrong, right? And if Coach was conducting this draft, I would trust it, right? Because I think Coach does a better job of scouting the talent. I think he would make better moves. But considering who we have at GM, I can't trust that. I can't trust him to say, okay, we can get Carnell Tate and then we'll pick up the guard that we need later on. I don't think he's able to do it.
Right, and that's my point about Baltimore is not that you take worse players just because, but because I mean, every team screams best player available, best player available. No team really does that, right? Outside of like maybe the very top of the draft where you have elite prospects, you'll go ahead and take those guys just because they're elite prospects. But every other pick is a mixture of best player available and need, right? But what I'm saying about Baltimore is you have a dude who refuses to address your needs. The draft is not the only way to acquire talent. You know, you do the
Oh, okay. He disagrees with reaching
no,
for players.
but nobody said to reach for players, coach. And that's my whole point. You know, because how are you determining that Carnell Tate is a better player than Vega, right? They play completely different positions. I know you go through and you give your grades or whatever, but if you have them graded as, hey, you know, these are first half of the first round players. I don't care if one's a 7.5 and one's a 7.4. There's nothing. It doesn't mean anything, right? Like it's an arbitrary grade that you're giving. And what I mean, in this case, you need both. But I'm saying, like, usually in this discussion, you need one and you don't need the other. And that's what teams do. They say, hey, we're going to take the player here who's the closest to the top of our board that we actually need. But what I'm saying about Baltimore and Eric DaCosta is he doesn't do that, right? He says, hey, we have needs along the O-line. I'm not going to sign anybody. I'm not going to trade for anybody. And now I'm going to not draft anybody.
So I don't think coach is saying don't take Vega over, you know, one of the wide receivers. I think he's saying, like, if those guys are gone, don't reach for somebody like Pregnon or somebody like that.
Yeah,
but if Pregnon
to reach for players, that's not a not saying take a second round projected player at 14 just because.
Yeah. Right. He said EDC will draft the safety at 14.
I hope
don't you put that evil out there.
I hope he does.
He joked about that, saying, I don't think we need a safety this year, you know. So
let Caleb Downs fall and see if he still believes that.
This will be one of the true tests out there. And Caleb Downs could very well fall to us. This will be a true test if Caleb Downs is on the board and we're on the clock.
Yeah.
What do we do? The bigger test.
The same thing is him, Jeremiah Love. If you're sitting there at 14 and Jeremiah Love's there, he's the best player available. Are you going to take him to be Derrick Henry's sidekick for however long?
I'd be tempted. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be mad at it. I'd be tempted. But that's the thing, right? Like those flashy players. And yes, he'll be Derrick Henry's sidekick for like a year, you know, maybe two, and then he'll be the guy. And I mean, like he'll be the new Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, and listen, I said early in the offseason that I would take Jeremiah Love if I were Baltimore. That was assuming that they re-signed Tyler Linderbaum and signed some guards. And that's my whole thing with Eric DaCosta, and it's what we talked about last year. This time when they took Malachi Starr. So why that was a terrible pick, because you didn't do what you needed to do before the draft to put you in the position to take Malachi Starr. So that's who you wanted. You ignored your needs, and then you got on the clock and you said, man, I love that safety. And you ignored your needs again. And Lamar Jackson got hurt multiple times last year and you missed the playoffs. Malachi Starr did nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, 100%. EDC would be like a crackhead if Downs is there.
Because the reality is the answer is yes, you should take Jeremiah Love, right? He's the best player there. He's an elite prospect, and you want to be a running team, and Derrick Henry's winding down. And had you re-signed Tyler Linderbaum and signed a couple of decent guards, that would be the right move to make. But you can't do that when you sign John Simpson.
Yeah, see, and that's a good point, B. That's a good point. You know, we don't have, like, we asked this question over and over and over. What's the answer for fixing this O-line? And there are no answers, right? Mm-hmm. That's the concerning thing, especially center. That's the main thing. When you say somebody isn't worth something, okay, who are you going to get to replace him? If you don't have an answer, guess what? He's worth it.
Yeah, and listen, if you didn't want to pay 27, should have paid him the 25 and franchised him. Right,
Yep.
and then worked out a long-term deal. You could even put the
Or
transition
pick
tag on him and
or
pay
picked up his
23.
fifth year option.
Yeah, or pick up his fifth year option. But the point is that they didn't use the resources available to them to make sure that the line was okay prior to heading into the draft. So now
Yeah.
you're in a position where you have to use those high picks on offensive linemen to protect your quarterback.
Yeah, coach is absolutely right. Josh Simmons was the pick last year, and Eric blew it.
Yeah, but because he took the top player. That's what he would tell you, right? Like, oh, we took the best player available.
But I think all of us, coach, and I think all of us, even Chris, agreed that Josh Simmons was the move to make there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think we were all agreed because that was one of the players. And I know I remember coach saying this, like, if it wasn't for his injury, Josh Simmons is a top tackle off the board. Right. So that definitely would have been the move to make. And yeah, you're absolutely right, coach. We blew that one. Zeke Kage, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. Kwame, I see you in here. Says Starks had a couple of picks. Okay. I don't even like picking on Starks. Like, I think he's going to be good. I think Mike Green's going to be good. I actually think the draft, last year's draft, is going to turn out to be you're going to get a few good players out of that draft, right? But in terms of what you need right now to compete, wrong picks.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong picks, right? Especially when you have a defensive coach who's young, doesn't have good guidance, doesn't quite know what he's doing yet, needs to figure things out. I understand you want to get him some help, but that help needs to come in the form of veteran players that already know what they're doing out there, that don't need any coaching, right? You get the help on the offensive side. You have Tom Monken, who has experience. He knows what to do with those players. You make sure you have an O-line that's holding up, not a pet project in Falele and Voorhees, because that's all they were, right? It's guys that John Harbaugh had a hunch on, especially Falele, because him and his family, half raised them. You know what I'm saying?
And look at the size of them.
Yeah, look at his size and everything. And he didn't want to give up on that. He just wanted to be right about something, and he'd do that to the detriment of the team. But if you had a competent O-line last year, we can close out a lot of those games, even if the defense isn't coming around, Mm-hmm. But it's just, so glad Harbaugh's gone. Like, it feels like a big weight is lifted off our shoulders now that he's off the team. He's only been off the team for a couple of months.
Not even an offseason. Now, moving on to another draft story. So the Carolina Panthers, Dave Canales, the head coach over there, was recently quoted as saying, because, the question is, what are they going to do with that 19th pick? Right?
Yes.
They can go tackle, they can go wide receiver, they can go defense. They can go Kenyon Sadiq. There's a lot of ways they can go. He was quoted as saying, I don't believe in drafting for depth. And talking about the top picks. And so everybody kind of took that as, well, tackles off the board, right? Because they have Taylor Moden. They just signed Rasheed Walker to be the starter. And obviously Aquanu is going to come back from injury. Now, I don't think that's what he meant. Like, I don't draft guys who end up being back. I think he just kind of meant we draft guys who we think are going to be really good and be contributors and all that. But I said immediately, Kenyon Sadiq, here we come. Right, because they are in a spot where they can take pretty much any position and have it be the right pick. Assuming that they get the right guy. They need help at tight end. They need a starting tight end. Obviously, they still need help at wide receiver, even with Jalen Coker there, even if he stays healthy. They need depth on the O-line, and they need potentially a starting left tackle. They need a future starting right tackle. Once Taylor Moden moves on, he's getting a little older. They need somebody to play next to Derek Brown. They let Ashawn Robinson go. They could use help at edge still. Although I don't think that's a priority right now after signing Jalen Phillips.
What did y'all pay Walker? That's what Coach wants to know.
Nothing. They paid his contract is 1 year, $4 million, with incentives up to, I want to say the incentives can get close to 10. But the thing with Rasheed Walker is he has a lot of injury questions, and so he didn't have the market that a lot of people thought he was going to. So he signed a kind of a 1 year prove it deal in Carolina. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so they got a great deal on Rasheed Walker. Unless of course he gets hurt, then they got Stone Forsythe and they got a terrible deal on Stone.
Yeah, but Canals can say that right now because you still have holes to fill, right?
Yeah.
But like after this year, because I think you're gonna fill a lot of those holes, you're gonna believe in drafting for depth.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's what he meant. Like I don't draft guys at that won't start. I think he just meant we look to draft guys who have a lot of talent, who we expect to play and compete and contribute and all that. They signed Devin Lloyd, which the top linebacker available. They need 2 other linebackers, bro. Like they're not good. They're not good at that spot. So like they can kind of go anywhere there. Now I've said multiple times that that's right, Jay. He says in Dan Morgan we trust. Yeah. I've said multiple times that they can't really make a bad pick. I was proven wrong. I saw a mock draft from NFL.com. I want to say maybe Lance Zierling did this one. And I clicked on it just because he had them making a trade with Baltimore. So I was kind of intrigued, right?
Okay.
So he had Carolina trading up to 14 to draft Akeem Mesidor, the edge rusher out of Miami who is 25 years old. I'm like, I'm not giving you picks to move up and take a 25-year-old when we just signed Jalen Phillips and we just drafted Nick Scorton and Umar Malian. That's not going to happen. So if that happens, I'll be a little upset with Dan. But I don't see that being the
who's that? I never heard that name.
Akeem Mesidor. He was on the Mesidor. He was on the other side of Ruben Bain. Very good player. Very good edge rusher. But he's
projected to go in the first round.
Yeah. So his name's been rising quite a bit.
Gotcha.
Early in the draft season, he was kind of projected in the mid second round or so, and now you kind of see him going in the top 15 in mocks sometimes. But it's not like a every mock kind of thing. So you see him top 15 all the way through the back end of the first round. He's a good player, but that would be a bad pick for Carolina, I think.
Where are you guys picking?
19th.
19th.
Right. Yeah, but in this one they moved up to 14 to get Grandpa Edge, and I don't like that. So I think that Carolina is going to go if they're because I'm not sure there's going to be a tackle fit at 19. I think the top tackles will be gone, and it'll be a little while before the next wave of tackles. So I don't think there's anybody right there that would be a good spot. I think they end up going either Kenyon Sadiq if he falls. If he falls to 19, I think that's the pick. And if not him, they've been looking at Omar Cooper out of Indiana. There's some talk about Casey Concepcion, the wide receiver from A&M. But I think that if it's not going to be tackle, I think they're going to get some help for Bryce in the pass game.
Let me tell you something. They get another wide receiver in the first round. They really might as well start packing his stuff.
He might as well
don't renew your lease. If you
learn how to tackle.
If you're renting something or you're done. I thought he was done after last year at the preseason. I thought they were going to trade him.
Yeah, the thing is nobody wants him. I don't think so. I mean, I've seen a couple Ravens fans, expressing interest, but they're not decision makers in the organization, unfortunately.
Lays get so chaos called them Lays get.
Come on, man. Don't do that. Don't do that to me, man.
Hey, listen. To be fair, if I was in that position and I was a first round pick and I got some million, a few million secured in my bank account, and I'm dating Glorilla.
I'll tell you what.
You may not get the best out of me. I'm being honest. You may not get the best out of me.
Inflation and everything. The price of squirrel ain't on it. He's still good.
Yeah.
So
see, there you go. Kwame said, "I take him. Ain't his fault. Bryce can't see him." Oh, Kwame,
Yeah.
This is one of those. This is one of those situations.
Come on, man.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where maybe you didn't watch the games, but he single-handedly lost them games a few times.
He kept them out of the playoffs 2 years ago.
He did.
So
He did. Yeah,
I shouldn't say. I'm gonna take that back. It's never on one person. But he dropped a couple wins. I'll say that.
Listen, Kansas City, Philadelphia. There was another game where they were like, "Thank you, Xavier."
Yes, we know that Xavier has fallen on hard times off the field as well. Gorilla's dating Brandon Ingram. Listen, yeah, she got around to watching his film and she was like, "Hey, go." Brandon all-star. But listen,
yeah.
It's not over for Xavier Legette either. You know, he's coming into his third year. If you've been watching football a while, that used to be when you expected something out of a receiver, no matter where you took him, was the third year. Yeah. You didn't even, you put him on ice for the first 2 years and you didn't expect anything. So he still has the chance. I don't know, man. Like I can't get behind it really.
You're right. Because look, Xavier Legette was a player that you didn't want to get.
Yeah.
Right. Because he needed some more work. Right.
No, well, because Ladd McConkey was there is why I didn't want to get him.
Well, yeah, but he was somebody like how we didn't want Owe in Baltimore because yes, he has a lot of athletic ability, but he needs to be he needs to develop.
Yeah.
Same thing with Xavier Legette, and those aren't the guys that you get in the first round, and when you get them. And then they're playing like you knew they would play. Fans get frustrated, coaching staff gets frustrated, and sometimes you give up on a player as they're starting to become that player that you envision them to be, and you basically develop them for another team. So yes, should you hold on to them? At least for this year, you should. But if you draft another wide receiver in the first round. He's gone. Yeah, he's gone.
Maybe fourth or the fifth or sixth.
Tedero McMillan is that guy.
Listen, it was an undrafted free agent that put him on the bench this year in Jalen Coker. So
yeah.
If they bring in anybody, he's in trouble. Look, he has to do. We said this last year. He has to show up in camp and turn heads. He has to make plays. And then he has to go into preseason. He has to make plays. And then he has to go into the regular season and make plays with all of his opportunities before you can really trust him to be the starter. Right? Like it's a long road back for Xavier, but it's not impossible.
Perryman Light. Rashad Perryman was such a weird situation there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even remember him being projected to be a first round pick that wasn't a good wide receiver class either. If I recall, I know we needed the help, but we got him. I was like, okay. They say he's fast, and then like his rookie year, it was like, oh, he has a little hamstring thing. He's gonna miss a couple weeks. Then he was close, and then he didn't play at all. And then when he played. He wasn't that great. He had little flashes here and there. And then we got rid of him and he showed a little bit more potential with Tampa Bay. Actually, he was pretty solid with Tampa Bay, if I recall. But
he was okay with Tampa Bay that 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah, he couldn't keep his feet in bounds. I see some similarities there.
It's crazy because I'm looking at it in Rashad Perryman's rookie year. He had 499 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay. In Xavier Legette's rookie year, he had 497 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, Xavier Legette's year 2 blows Rashad Perryman out the water. All right. Okay. So you're Xavier Legette light is what it is.
Yeah.
Neither are good. Neither are good.
Yeah. I saw a question here earlier from Louisville Cardinals Ravens. Says, Jose, how did you grade the 2024 O-line? For the Ravens, I'm assuming that was the year before last. They weren't good either.
No.
That was I mean, they were better, right? They're better. That's when we had Pat McCarry starting, and Pat McCarry is not a starting caliber guard. He was a good rotational player for us because he could play different positions. But when he had to go into the starting lineup, that was a sign that we didn't do a good job with the O-line. We haven't done a good job with the O-line since Marshall Yanda retired.
Yeah, since 2019, you haven't done a good job with the O-line.
Correct. Yes.
Since Eric DeCosta took over.
Yeah. So
he inherited a good O-line, and then
yeah. All right, we still got 140 people in here, man. Hit that like button. If you're new in here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are going to be we got a couple more stories to do. We're going to do submitted questions, and then we're going to go to the overtime show. That's going to be a lot of fun. You do not want to miss that. Patreon.com/LBHTShow is how you can be a part of that. Since EDC took over, essentially, it's gone down the drain.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone down the drain. That 2019 team was a great O-line.
Yep.
A great O-line that was not built by EDC.
Mm-hmm.
And I had high expectations for EDC once he took over, and I thought he would usher us into the new the new NFL, right? The new era of the NFL, because he was saying all the right things. Like it's like he understood, like, yeah, we got a MVP player here. We need to get him weapons. Like, he was saying all those things. At one point he said he wanted the offense to look like Kansas City's offense. He wanted wide receivers like Tyreek Hill, and I was like, yeah. And we're doing what we're doing.
That's right. King says, B, who do you want in the first round? I'm assuming you're asking for Carolina.
Yeah.
At 19th, I look, they need some help on the O-line, but like I said, I don't think that there's going to be a great fit in the O-line at 19. If Kenyon Sadiq falls to 19, I think they should sprint to the podium and just announce it yourself. Don't even bother turning in the card. Waste of time. Go and grab Kenyon Sadiq and get a guy with game-breaking ability for the offense, because they're kind of lacking that at the moment.
What I would love to see them do, we talked about this guy. Trade up. If we see him drop far enough, trade up and get Bryce Love.
Jeremiah Love.
I said Bryce Love. Jeremiah Love. Yeah, Jeremiah Love. Yeah. Jeremiah Love.
That's too far for him. That's too far for Carolina.
It depends.
Going 19 into he's probably going in the top 5.
Top 5? You think Jeremiah Love's going top 5?
Yeah. You got Tennessee. I think is a good landing spot for him. I'm not sure what number Cleveland's picking, but there's a lot of talk about them being interested in him. The floor was Kansas City until they signed Kenneth Walker, but I don't think that he would even get to Kansas City, honestly.
Oh, I think you're right. I just pulled up just a random mock draft, right? This is from Yahoo Sports. They have him going 5th.
Yeah.
5th to the Giants.
Yeah. Yeah, because that dude is not long for the NFL, Cam Scatterbo. But yeah, I think he's not getting out of the top 5. So trading up to get a player like that is just, those are the guys who you have to really want it. It's starting from September. You got to want it.
They got you guys taking Caleb Banks.
See, it's funny because a lot of mock drafts that I've seen recently have him going middle of the second round now, because he has some injury issues. He broke his foot at the combine, and he had some foot issues in college. Super freak athlete. He's huge, super athletic, and I would love to put him next to Derrick Brown, but he has those injury concerns, and we'll see where he ultimately ends up going. But I've seen a lot of drafts having him in the mid-second or so.
The Panthers are a few pieces away from being really scary on defense.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna get them pieces too.
I think so.
They already got a couple of them in free agency.
Yeah. King thinks if Love gets past 5, he'll fall. It's possible. Like this is one of those drafts. I mean, it happens every year, right? Like, we look at these mock drafts, and then you're like, oh, okay, this person's going here, and then like players fall, and like some players that you think are going to be there later on, go early. It depends on who gets picked, especially like linemen. lineman gets picked a little too high. The next thing you know, other teams like, oh, we gotta get our guy now.
Yeah, you don't see those kind of falls typically with the elite prospects. Like those guys still go at the
Yeah.
top. So I'm looking at the draft order right now. Obviously, he's not going to the Raiders, not going to the Jets. He could go at 3 to the Cardinals. He could go at 4 to the Titans, 5 to the Giants. He could go 6 to the Browns. Who is the Commanders running back right now? Is it's not. They got rid of Brian Robinson. They got rid of the little kid from the Chargers. They could take him.
They it seems like they got a new guy every year. They had Ja'Cory Crocky
Merritt.
Merritt.
Commanders could take him. The Chiefs probably not at this point. The Bengals could take him. The Dolphins, depending on how much they want to put on Achan's plate, he could potentially go there. The Cowboys is another spot for him. Baltimore, in theory, I mean they've got to go O-line. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of teams who would benefit from taking Jeremiah Love. He's not going to fall.
Yeah. All right. We're over an hour in. I'm gonna do these 2 stories. We're starting court of public opinion. I gotta get these animations back up so we can get the full effect of court of public opinion again. All right. But 2 stories. We're gonna talk about these, and then we're gonna do submitted questions, and then we'll head over to the overtime show. All right. All right. First one. You can pick which one to put on the screen, Adelia. We'll discuss it. All right. This is Brandon Aiyuk. Chris Sims on Brandon Aiyuk. Okay.
He screwed them over multiple times. There's really no other way to say it. He's done that. And because of that, they're certainly not going to be in any rush. This isn't one of your stories. He's been great to us. He's been awesome. We're going to try and work with him and make the player happy. No, this is going to be one where they go, we actually don't care about the player at all. And I could see this being one where they're waiting into training camp and some team in the playoff conversation gets an injury, or they look at their roster and be like, we don't have a guy. Hey, 49ers, here's a 3rd or a 4th rounder for Brandon Aiyuk.
Yeah. Now, Killer Cam says in the chat, I wouldn't trust Sims on this topic. I would trust Sims on this topic. The word on Brandon Aiyuk since he signed his deal was he's been a problem for that team. And I've listened to other 49ers content creators that pretty much said the same thing, that he's just, it was an issue in terms of, how the deal went down. Like he thought he should have gotten paid. I'm not sure if he should have gotten paid more. Or he should have gotten paid before other players. It was something along those lines. He felt disrespected, and then even when he signed his deal, he wasn't really happy with the deal, and that manifests itself on the team, even in practice. Like I saw one of the videos where he got kicked out of practice, and you could see the frustration with the coaching staff with him. And just last year, like just not, I mean, yes, he had some injuries, and I think some of that might have been, I don't want to say fabricated, but like he clearly wasn't in on that team, and he ended up giving back his bonus money, right?
Killer Cab saying Sims is best friends with Shanahan. They were college roommates. He's heavily biased. Listen, any story that comes out like this is going to come out through someone who's biased. They, when you want to get a story out, you go to someone and you like, right? But we saw this play out in public, though. Like none of this is secret. We know that it was a long contentious thing with him and the team. We know he wanted out. Pittsburgh almost traded for him, and then 49ers kind of caved, and then he just didn't show up, right? The entire time. I do not expect that they are thrilled with Brandon Aiyuk either. And you would like to say, hey, it's a multi-billion-dollar organization, and they're all professionals and they're not going to be petty, but people are petty. And if you feel like this dude did us wrong, and he took this money and he didn't give a good faith effort to come in and play, yeah, there's probably going to be people in that building that say screw him.
Ferris says he doesn't understand the poll. Ferris, that's because you're too young. Ferris just getting here. I mean, first of all, read the question, Ferris. Okay. The version of the draft that you watch now is not the original version of the draft. The original version used to happen on Saturday and Sunday. The version now happens Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All right. So for you, the answer is the new version. That's the only version you got to experience. Okay.
Cam, you're saying Shanahan caved. It doesn't matter. The 49ers caved, right? The 49ers gave him the money. It doesn't matter if it was Shanahan that said to pay him. It doesn't matter if it was the GM that said to pay him. The point is the team caved and gave him the money that he allegedly wanted, and he wasn't happy. Yeah. And at this point, nobody is happy with that deal, right? He's not happy being a 49er. They're not happy having signed him to that deal and have him not show up and play. So yeah, I mean, could be because if what Sims is saying is incorrect, right? And that they were going to try to do what's right by the player, that would have happened already. Like they would have been out there actively trying to move him and putting out there that, hey, yeah, no, he's been great. We're just going in a different direction, blah, 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 whatever. But they're not. They're just waiting.
Yeah. And yes. And okay. How do y'all feel about that? Right. Like you feel like this is actually a good question to ask y'all, like be on the outside looking in. Do you guys look at it and say, hey, be a professional and just move on, from the player, don't try to tank his career or anything like that? Or do you feel a little petty about this and say, hey man, he didn't do right by us, we paid him a brand new contract and he wasn't honoring that, so we don't feel obligated to do right by him? We'll sit it out and we'll wait to see what the absolute best deal we can get for him, and then we'll act accordingly. Who do you side with? Do you side with the team or do you side with the player?
We did get a cash app. Thank you very much, Mazabi.
Super chat.
Super chat. Yeah, sorry. With push for more international games, it seems Super Bowl played outside the USA is inevitable. When do you see? I feel like Europe most likely by 2040. That's a tough question because I would agree with you just because they're clearly trying to push Europe more than any other area. But I mean, just logistically speaking, it would be kind of easier to have it, in Mexico or.
That's what I was thinking.
But I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say London. I'm going to say they go to London and they go to one of the big soccer arenas. They make it a whole big thing.
I want to say Mexico City.
2040 seems a little early, but I'm going to say you're right on that as well.
Because they did a game in Mexico City and that was huge.
Yeah.
I think Mexico City would be the one to get it.
Yeah, no, but as far as your question about Brandon Aiyuk or the hypothetical player, you don't have to be petty to sit and say, we're going to wait and do what's best for the team. I think that's fine. I don't think the team should be trying to tank players' career. I don't care what happened between y'all. Like, once you decide that, hey, we're done, just move on, and you don't need to be trying to tank anybody's career. So you can hold them and wait for a good deal for the team, but just don't be out there kind of bad mouthing him, talking about, whether he faked injuries or he's not a team guy, he doesn't come to play, whatever. But I think it's fine for teams to hold on to players and wait for a good deal for them. Once it becomes clear that you're not getting what you want, go ahead and cut them and move on. But no, there's no harm in holding him and saying, hey, we're going to wait and see if we can trade you for something.
Yes. Like, if you feel like, hey, this guy did us wrong, we gave him a nice contract and he just took the money and ran and didn't really help us out, and he kind of screwed us over. I can understand the desire to kind of get a little payback, right? But you're a professional. You're running the organization, and you have to conduct yourself in that way and just say, okay, fine. Like, we're not going to do you any favors, right? But we're not going to try to screw you over either. We're gonna move on from you when the opportunity is right for us. Do it that way. But that's what being a professional is. Because if you go the petty route, then how can anybody trust you? Because then it's just about your feelings, right? Now you're Al Davis, and you're doing things because you feel a certain way about something, whether it's just justified or not, and you're acting off of emotion and not logic.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't see a problem with what they're doing right now either.
Yeah.
And Brandon Aiyuk is going to be hard pressed to find a team that's going to really invest in him. No matter where he goes, it's a 1-year prove it deal. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Right. When's the last time we see him play?
Right.
So, all right. Other story.
Cam saying players wouldn't want to do it in Mexico. Players are not going to have a say in where that Super Bowl is played.
Listen,
the league does not care what players want.
Listen, push back on this 18-game season, and then I'll be convinced whether the players has some pull. But they're gonna do whatever they're told.
Players can't even get the owners to put grass in the stadiums.
Right.
Ask a soccer player to step foot on a fake field and see what happens. I don't know. Was it the Jets in East Rutherford? But they were going to have a soccer game in the U.S. on a field that was turf, and the soccer players were like, "Hell no, we're not." And they put in real grass just for that, and then they switched it back for the NFL players. They don't care.
Oh, Adelia says Super Bowl at Wembley would be a huge spectacle. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good point. Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'd be into it. It's not like I'm gonna get to go to a Super Bowl here anyway.
Right. It'll probably be cheaper over in Europe. Okay, second story.
Oh, Lord. Breaking, the Chicago Bulls are waiving Jayden Ivey after he spoke out against the NBA for promoting Pride Month and unrighteousness, according to ESPN. Ivey recently announced that he was alive in Christ. Quote, "They proclaim Pride Month in the NBA. They show it to the world. They say, 'Come join us for Pride Month to celebrate unrighteousness.' They proclaim it on the billboards. They proclaim it in the streets, unrighteousness. He said nothing wrong, according to this person."
Yeah. Okay. So you want to go first, or you want me to go?
You go.
Okay. Here's my thing with him and people like him. I don't respect it at all. I don't respect his belief. Right. I'm not saying that I don't respect Christians. I don't respect fake Christians, and this is fake. Right, because you're just homophobic, and you want to use your religion as a shield, right? Because how is it that these Christians always are showing this bravery and standing up when you're speaking out against a discriminated class, right? But I don't hear you talking about the genocide in Gaza. I don't hear you talking about police brutality in our own neighborhoods here. I don't hear you talking about anything else other than Pride Month. That's what you're taking a stance on. That's what you're so brave on. You're not brave, right? That's your own. So is that your only religious? Is that the only belief that you have? Is we have to do something about the gays, right? Nothing else. No, you don't have any other morals, no other standards. That's the only thing that qualifies you as a Christian. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. And also very Christian of you to say Steph Curry is not a Christian. And I forget who the other player he mentioned specifically by name was, and said they are not a Christian. You know what I would like to hear more? Because I hear all the time from Christians about you shouldn't lay with another man the way you lay with a woman, blah, blah, blah. I'd like to hear more of the judge not lest you be judged. Or how about the, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. I want to hear more Christians say that and then mind their own goddamn business. All right. Because listen, honestly, man, The verse that a lot of Christians quote to say that Christianity is against homosexuality, in that same book in the Bible, is promoting slavery. I don't hear you going around parroting that.
Right.
Like, and I saw somebody on Twitter who was talking about so dumb. Talking about I wish that they would push pork on Muslims the way they push homosexuality on Christians. Ridiculous. But a Muslim guy responded and was like, Muslims know that pork exists and that people eat pork. We're fine with it. We just don't eat it ourselves. And then somebody in the replies was like, oh yeah, but there's no pork pride month. They don't have parades for pork. And so that every person who has an internet connection got in that dude's mention, giving them links to all of the pork pride festivals that happen all over the country, all the barbecue festivals. Like there was literally a parade for pork in one place.
We don't have a bacon propaganda going on here.
Yeah. But
like we put bacon on everything now. That wasn't always the case.
But my thing is like, okay, so one, you don't know about the pork parades and all the festivals for celebrating pork and everything because you don't give a damn about it, right? So you just ignore it and it goes by. Try that with homosexuals. How about that?
I'm literally about to eat some bacon right now.
try not caring what other people are doing in the privacy of their own homes. And as far as the idea that, oh, well, it's being promoted and it's being thrown in our face. You mean like Christians do every chance they get? I was telling Hendo, like, I don't remember watching any kind of a sporting event without hearing about Jesus. Like you watch the interview after any game, no matter what the question is, the first thing out of most athletes or a lot of athletes' mouths is, first of all, I want to give all the glory to my God and my personal Savior, Jesus Christ, and all this. Like, you think I want to hear that? No. But it's your belief and you have the right to practice it and it's fine. And it doesn't affect my life. So it's whatever. Try that.
Yeah. Listen, years ago, Tim Hardaway was, he came out, he was asked a question about, the LGBT community, and he didn't sugarcoat it. He just said, look, man, I just hate gays. Right. He's like, yeah, I just hate them. I hate them, whatever. Obviously, wild comment. Yeah. Very, 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 very vile comment, right? But he was honest about it. And I can respect that more because since then, he's apologized. He's done the homework. He's educated on it now. And he's done a complete 180, right? He was like, what I said was very ignorant at the time. And it wasn't one of those things where he turned around and immediately apologized. He was just like, no, that's how I feel. But he's matured since then. And I can respect that view because if you're not going to be honest about your intentions, your feelings about something, how can you really address it, right? Mm-hmm. You're hiding behind religion and saying, well, that's just my religious belief. That ain't your religious belief. That's just how you feel, bro.
Yeah.
It's just how you feel. And if you just say that, then we can start having a conversation about why you should change your views. Yeah. That's why that's exactly why I don't like to have too many discussions with conservatives, because most of them are just fake. They use that, oh, well, I just have conservative beliefs, this is and that or whatever. No, you're low-key a bigot, right? You have these views that you don't want to come out and say, listen, man, I just think I think Hispanics are criminals. I don't want them around me. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to say, well, yeah, we got to protect the borders. We got to do this and that. And then you start talking about things that you don't even understand what you're saying. And when people point out that you're factually wrong, well, yeah, we can agree to disagree. No, we're not disagreeing. We're not agreeing to disagree. You're wrong.
Yeah.
Right. But it ain't about that. It ain't about that. Like you just, what I'm saying, you want to believe what you want to believe.
So. And you feel entitled to be prejudiced against people. Like, a couple of years ago, they had the bakery in Colorado suing for the right to not sell the cake to a gay couple, right? Yeah. Based off of their religious beliefs. And, you don't have to really follow that case and hear what they had to say to know that they're full of it. Because look, gluttony's a sin. I bet you sell cakes to fat people, right? You get you get real picky and choosy about when you want to follow that, and when you want to use that religion as a shield to not do certain things, right? So yeah, that's basically kind of what he's doing, and he's got some other things going on that hopefully he gets taken care
Yeah.
of. He went on live talking about his wife isn't returning his messages, and how the whole family's turned their back on him, and he was saying that he had a lot of anger issues that he ended up taking out on her, and he turned into something of an abuser, which
means he was an abuser.
I was saying, like, I don't want to say
abuser.
that means that you were abusing him, but like, what do you mean? So I think he's got some other things going on that he needs to work out that have nothing to do with what got him cut.
Yeah. Adelia says, I understand people have religious beliefs, but when you're going to tell me you believe this about queer people, but you wear clothes that are a cotton/polyester blend, it's nonsense. Yeah, because people pick and choose what they want to believe, out of the Bible.
Because the Bible tells you what you can and can't wear. The Bible tells you, hey, you're not supposed to work on I believe Saturdays. At one point you weren't supposed to eat meat on Friday. Like, it's a whole lot of rules that people don't follow. That's fine,
right?
But the one that you think lets you be a bigot is the one you sticking to. You're not fooling anybody.
Right. And that's something that's an unforced error. You can feel how you want to feel. Nobody asked you your opinion on it.
Right.
Don't get on a live and start talking about it. What point are you trying to prove there? You know what I'm saying? Ashton Viz says, this conversation is why I rock with y'all content. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. We get a little political, sometimes we get a little, we talk about social issues and all that, from time to time. And this is, for the people that are like, oh, I don't want to talk about, I don't want you talking about this. Stick to sports. No, go somewhere else.
We know where you can go. Bobby ain't gonna talk about it,
right? Or he'll support him. Okay, listen, we're gonna do submitted questions here in a second, but a quick poll update. 90 people have voted. It is almost 50-50. 52% say they prefer the new version of the draft, which is the draft that we have today, Thursday night through Saturday, right? And the original version, 48%, which was Saturday and Sunday. So this is very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, and look, I enjoy both for what they are. I just prefer to, like, I don't like the gap between the first round and the rest of it. And I know that it does add a little bit of intrigue because you have the whole night to say, oh man, who's going to trade up to that 33rd pick, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just watching the draft. I just kind of want to know who the Panthers are taking.
The first year they did that, I can't remember exactly what year it was, but I remember when they did it, and I was on board with that. I was like, oh, prime time, okay, this will be fun. And that first round went a lot faster than I thought it would go. And I was like, I don't like this.
Like,
I don't want to wait until tomorrow.
See you tomorrow night. Because you got to go to work the next day too. I ain't like any of that.
Shug says we love talking racism. Yes, that's one of Shug's favorite topics on the Overtime Show when he joins us. Racism tickles him. That's our slogan for Shug. They should do first and second round on the same day like they used to. I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I agree with that. All right. Let's do submitted questions, and then we're going to hit over to the Overtime Show. You can find that on our Patreon, patreon.com/LBHTShow. Also, check out our website, LBHTShow.com. Get you some merch. You like what we're wearing? You can find that on our website. Also, sign up to the newsletter. I know I haven't put it out in a while. I promise you it is coming, but it's free. So just put your email address in there and be patient, and the newsletter will be dropping again very soon.
So our first question comes from our producer, Adelia. Thank you very much. It says, since it's April Fool's Day, What's the greatest April Fool's prank you've pulled or had pulled on you? I just want to say first off, like I haven't seen any April Fool's stuff today, and I think one tweet kind of summed it up. They're like, April Fool's doesn't hit the same when we're living through a misinformation epidemic. I'm like, yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough. As far as the greatest that I've had pulled on me, it wasn't on me specifically. And I don't remember the specific title, but it was about a video game release. All the sites used to do this on April Fools, they'll put out prank stuff, but somebody put out, I want to say it was about a GTA game, and it was either a surprise release or they were like putting out the release date, and they were like, haha, we were just joking. And everybody was like, I hate you. Why would you do that? But yeah, because it's just a story, and they got everybody excited, got everybody's hopes up, and then they're like, ha 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 ha, April Fools, and everybody's like, man, screw you.
So I don't have a April Fool's prank, but I remember one of the funniest pranks that I saw happen. This was when I was in the military. Now I'll give you a little background before I tell the whole thing. Right, when we were in training, right. We carry around these two little forms called 341s, right? And it's like disciplinary action forms or whatever, right? You carry on, you have to have them on you at all times. And, you do something wrong, you'll have a TI training instructor or MTL, military training leader, what we call them, military training leaders, or drill sergeants or whatever. They'll pull your 341. Give me your 341. Right. And then you get a 341, and they'll write like, hey, you didn't, your uniform looks like crap or whatever. And then they take it to the first sergeant, and then, you end up doing like a remedial training on the weekend or something like that. Right. Or you can get phased back if you get too many of those. And there's all kinds of things that be considered a violation. One of the things that you would have to do is you also have to put a 341 on your bed. Right. You have to make before you leave, right? You have to make your bunk, it's got to look good. It's got to be standard. The room's got to be clean. There can't be any trash in the trash can, right? You can't have money laying out. You couldn't have money laying out because they call that a security violation. So they'll pull 341 for a security violation, right? So, all right. My friend Larry and my friend Wilson, right? They were roommates. Okay. And Wilson was this goody two shoes Mormon, right? That's just like the most honest person, right? And never did anything wrong, right? Just, always being honest. He thought it would be funny to play a prank on Larry one day. So we're all at PT, right? We're doing our training. We do our training during the day, and then we do PT afterwards. And it's at the top of the hill, right? And everybody run down to the bottom of the hill so they can get to the showers first. Wilson got there first, and he thought it'd be funny to play a prank on Larry because Larry had gotten in trouble previously. He had to do a couple of remedial trainings, right? And he pulled his 341 off the bed, and he got a couple quarters and threw it on the desk. And then left, right? So Larry lost it. he was doing one of the things like, I gotta get out the military. He's like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing the remedial training. He lost it, and then he disappeared. And I run into Wilson later. He's like, hey, have you seen Larry? I was like, yeah, he was pretty pissed off, man. Like he said, he got his 341 pulled. He said he's not going back, right? And he was like, oh no, that was me. I was playing a joke on him. I thought I see it before he went off. So we looked all over the base to find him to tell him it was a joke. Yeah, but that wasn't on April Fool's. But yeah, that was a funny prank.
That's how you gotta know who you're joking with.
Yeah.
You don't play pranks on some people. Some people, one more thing, they're gonna snap.
Yeah.
So from Michael Holt, thank you very much. He says, who y'all got as the men and women's NCAA basketball champions? Well, That is a weird question because, as far as I know, the men's tournament is over, and the Duke
Be-
Blue Devils won. And I don't need anybody telling me anything to the contrary.
yeah, B's
Because
a
I was
Duke
watching that
fan.
game, and what I remember is Duke was up 3, and UConn had the ball, and they fouled UConn with about 11 seconds left because send them to the free throw line. They can't shoot a 3, right? Smart guy misses the first free throw. Game over. Game over. He makes the second free throw. Okay, 2-point game. Hold the ball. Maybe knock down a couple free throws. Done. They pass it in to Boozer. Boozer passes it back to the inbounder. Inbounder finds Caden Boozer, the little one, near midcourt. I'm like, yo, that's incredible. They haven't even been able to foul yet. They're running the clock. He might even be able to get away, run past half court, and run out the clock without even having to hit free throws. He catches the ball, and then I don't remember what happened next, but Duke won. Duke won, and that is all that I've got for that one.
That was like, I was looking at that. I was like, why did you pass the ball?
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, he held on the ball. Duke won. And that where they cut down the nets, and that was about it. As far as the women, I hate to say this. Tony Love, thank you very much. This is Black Fact.
Thank you.
Dr. Mark Dean owns 3 of 9 IBM computer patents. National Inventors Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Good for Mark Dean. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
As far as the women's tournament, I'm going with Dawn in South Carolina. Got to do it. They're playing UConn. I hate UConn. I'm going with South Carolina, and I don't think Texas or UCLA has a shot.
We got to meet Don Staley at the Fanatics Fest.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cool moment. Yeah. Yep. I'm going with Don Staley too.
And I guess if in some fantasy land, if the Final Four did not include Duke, I don't know why you even want to talk about this, but if that were the case, I would take Michigan.
Yeah, I'm about to say Michigan. Yep.
But like I said, Duke already won that shutdown.
All right.
Next up from Kelvin. Oh no, we got a couple more. Okay. Next up from Kelvin. Is it crazy to say that it would be disappointing if the Ravens took a DB or off-ball linebacker anytime before day 3? I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't say anytime before day 3. Like, I mean, if they hit
old, talking about like fourth round.
Yeah, 4th to the 7th round. So not in the first 3 rounds.
I don't want to see.
Well, because he said specifically defensive back or off-ball linebacker. I was thinking defensive lineman. They could take a defensive lineman in the first 3 rounds. They need one.
Yes, they have a need there. Yes, I would say yeah.
I would probably be a little disappointed in an off-ball linebacker or corner, and certainly not a safety,
because
certainly not.
Even though they were drafted later, right? Bilal Coney and what's the other dude's name? Longer Beam. They were drafted last year, and at least for Coney, there was some buzz with him before he got hurt. That's somebody with some potential. And we got TJ Tampa already. Like we've invested a lot in that position. Like, see what you have with those guys. So no, I wouldn't want to see. I wouldn't want to see that. All right, what we got next?
This is from Urban Closer. What is the 3 moves you would make right now for the offense to make this team a certified legitimate contender? He meant to make this team.
3 moves?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, it's kind of like what I said earlier, right? If they go into this draft and let's say they get Vega or the Miami guard, somebody like that with their first pick. And then the 2nd or 3rd round, they come back and get a center. Those are 2 moves right there. And I think they should still try to get trade for one of these wide receivers, man. Look to see who's out there. One of these teams that might be looking to move off of somebody. Like we talked about the Lions earlier, how they could make some June 1st cuts. Ask them about Amon-Ra St. Brown, trade a future first-round pick or something like that for him. I like to see them do something like that. And I would feel really good about this team. And they can do that. They can fix the O-line and they can add a major weapon. And we could really put ourselves in position to win a Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, I would say Spencer Fano, first round, because there's talk of moving him to center potentially. Obviously, or Vega, one of those guys. Second round, another offensive lineman, and then trading for AJ Brown because they're holding on to him, it looks like, until June. The rumor is that they've got a deal worked out with the Patriots, but you can snake right in there and get that trade done. But yeah, getting the O-line right and getting another a playmaker for Lamar, what have you, right there as contenders. I think the defense was already going to be much better, just having Jesse Minter and Anthony Weaver coaching it. But yeah, I think that will put you on the right path.
Now, I want to ask this question real quick because I've heard this a few times, like Spencer Fano possibly being moved to center. Why do we think he can play center and not like Vega or one of these other guards? Like, why do we think Fano could play center?
I think it mostly stems just from him being very willing to do it. I'm not sure that he actually did in Utah, but he was asked at the combine about it, and he's like, "Yeah, man, whatever." He was very enthusiastic about doing it. So I don't know that anybody's asked Vega about it, and I don't know that Fano's actually played any snaps at center. But I saw that interview where he was talking about it.
Okay, gotcha.
Last question. Since it's April Fool's, this is from Urban Closer as well. Since it's April Fool's and the biggest fool seems to be John Harbaugh, who is the biggest op to the Baltimore Ravens' success? A, Jonathan Inner Harbor. B, Eric Hicostas. C, the Baltimore Ravens. Or D, Ravens content creators. That's just you, because I'm a Panthers content creator.
Who's the biggest what? What was it? Biggest op
to the Ravens' success.
Steve Bisciotti. I know he wasn't listed there, but Steve Bisciotti, because he allowed it to happen for way too long. Like John Harbaugh was able to do the things that he did because Steve Bisciotti let it happen. He got too comfortable, and they got too close. The three of them got too close and forgot that you're running the business, and this is what their standards were years ago. You guys don't even remember this. Like, they said that they wanted to build a dynasty. That's what they said. So did you do that? No. And at some point you got okay with just being there, Yeah. So that falls on Bisciotti.
Okay, well, I am going to stick within the rules of the question and say Eric Hicostas because he's just not very good at drafting. And he has let the O-line deteriorate. He's never sufficiently fixed the wide receiver problem. He let the best 2/3 of the tight end room walk and has done nothing to replace them. He let Keaton Mitchell walk, and you didn't even have to negotiate with him. You just had to put a tag on him, and now he's a Charger.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
I was kind of hoping Carolina would pick him up.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's one of those things where the new coach and staff came in and said, "We're not going to use him." I feel like some of these. I feel like some of these moves made were moves that they're just like, all right, we're going through the roster. These guys can go. We're going to bring in certain guys that we know are going to fit our system.
But that's the thing; they haven't brought anybody in. That's the problem with it.
Right? Yeah. That's the scary part. But it's only March. It's only March.
It's April.
It's only April. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That is the show. Go over to our patreon.com/LBHTShow. We're going to be discussing a few things. We're going to discuss that youth football brawl where one referee got slept and the next referee said, all right, now do me next. Let's see what you got, right? Squaring up with the coach. We got Tiger Woods and another car incident and another scandal. And we got an NFL. We got two NFL scam stories. One involving Xavier McKinney He's the victim. He's not. He's not the perpetrator. And the other one involving multiple players who thought they were talking to an adult film star. Patreon.com/LBHTShow is where you can find.
Wait till you find out where that person perpetrated this scam.
Yes.
Because yikes.
Click that link in the description, and you can sign up. It's only $5, so come check it out. Thank you, Noah. It's a great show. Appreciate that. King says can't blame Bishotti. He's a hands-off owner, and to the untrained eye, we're a very well-run organization. Well, it's his team. You absolutely blame him, and you blame him if you're going to be hands-off. Then you can't have every person only report to you. You have to have a chain of command. So you put them in a position to where you have to be involved, right? Yeah. You gave John Harbaugh too much power. It should have been EDC, you're in charge. John answers to you, and you had the final say on these moves, right? But you didn't do it that way. You said no. They both report to me, and I can be the the tiebreaker or whatever. But then they became two good friends, and John had too much influence, and it got to a point where EDC, even if he wanted to, couldn't fire him. Like he had to go to you to do it, and you were friends with him. So yeah, it absolutely falls on Bishotti. So,
and that is it.
That is it. All right. Thank y'all very much, man. Appreciate y'all. Still 90 people in here. Appreciate that. Hit that like button on your way out. Share this with your friends, family, and loved ones. All right. B, are you ready?
I am ready.
Adelia, are you ready? Adelia is ready. Thank y'all for hanging out with us for almost 2 hours. The party isn't over. Hang out with us over on the Overtime Show. All right. Patreon members, get ready. The Overtime Show is starting right now. Channel members, the post is available for you, so you can come hang out with us as well. Everybody else, have a great night. We will see you next time. Peace.